Going to game number 5, what's it feel like to be in that moment?
I mean, it's intense. I can't even describe the feeling. Whoever wins this last map gets to go to mid-season brawl, gets to compete on the world stage against the best of the best. This is exactly what we play for.
All right, let's do it. Game number 5, the final map to figure out who is going to mid-season brawl. Who will play in Sweden in June? Method starts with the Medivh ban instantly. Zealots, what do you answer back with?
The interesting part is that everyone keeps saying that Zealots, they excel under pressure. And we've seen it at the Western Clash. We've seen it also. I mean, this season they had a couple of really severe losses, but every single time when there was a lot on the line, they come in back swinging and then they confirm these kills. And ADRD, it's just, to me, he's such an amazing player because every time he comes into a new team, that new team all of a sudden ends up in the top 3 in Europe. And every time he contests these spots, and they are doing it again today. They might go to the mid-season brawl, they might fall flat here, but no matter how this ends, the Zealots and their run in 2018 has really impressed me so far. Because when that team formed, I saw a lot of potential conflicts within the team, a bit of a clash of personalities, and them not really doing well, and they really surprised me. And on a positive side, it's amazing what they have accomplished.
They really have come together, especially their run at the Western Clash. Such an enjoyable weekend. Oh, yeah. Win there. Malfurion will be banned out. Zealots will not allow to be first pick here. So no Malf popping in, and we're going to get a first pick Sonya.
Wow. I was just about to mention that Method has been favoring Sonya throughout the entire series. We've seen it twice now, and this is very arguably the very best map for that Sonya. Surprising that they first pick it, though.
Yeah, especially since usually it's Zealots that highly favor Sonya, or they favored her in part 1. Now that has changed a bit as Blaze came into play, because after that we saw a lot of Blaze play from Germany, as we highlighted earlier, and he's very successful with the hero. But normally it was his Sonya, like he was the one who always went for Sonya. Even when she fell off the meta, they were the only team that still played her. But now we have Method just first picking her, and I'm really surprised by the priority. Not that hero is chosen on the map, but that it's a first pick even for them.
Yeah, and that means that they will be giving away the Blaze to Zealots if they want it. Same with the Maiev. With the Malfurion ban, I'm curious, do you guys know if Europe plays a lot of Alexstrasza? We see quite a bit of that, especially when a top healer is banned in North America. But
no, it was dabbled in a little bit the first couple of weeks, and then it fell off hard, but it was on this map in Infernal Shrines, the idea of trying to win over the Shrine phase.
Yeah, from the 210 games that we've seen in Europe in 2018, we had 6 games played with Alexstrasza. And 3 of them victorious. And Method, they played twice with Alexstrasza, and they lost both of them. So maybe they feel that now they have a chance to bring her back in, but in general, Alex doesn't really do a whole lot in Europe.
All right, well, good to know that. Then it looks like Zealots is going with the, well, they got the strong Shriner. Let's just keep poking him and hope we can win the Sustain War with the Malfurion banned out. And no Alexstrasza pickup likely. Stukov becomes the new support, you know, that can just out-sustain everything if given enough time. Yeah. And Hanzo, of course, very good at poking those frontline heroes.
And also we come back to Shed. I mean, he's the one who brought the hero into the meta, so we have Admiral Gonzalez trying to have his impact again. Question of, first of all, how is Method going into this? Maiev once more. Maiev and Rhaegar, so they have the cleanse available, and this is already quite reminiscent of what we saw on Battlefield of Eternity, where they basically had the Maiev Sonya setup, they had Rhaegar, back then they played it with Garrosh and Hanzo. Can't really go for the same setup, but still an interesting choice.
Tychus ban, and Method immediately start thinking about Diablo as being a major threat, especially on this battleground. Why is banned by them?
Yeah, but that's the moment when the Cho'Gall is just blindsiding you.
I know, that's the thing, is like, ADRD is going to be affecting that in the draft, right? If you ban Tychus.
To be honest, I don't think that we're going to see anything like that anytime soon, but I feel like ADRD is always, for the rest of his life, going to benefit from every team at least being a little bit afraid of some crazy pick coming out of them.
We'll see if anything crazy does come from Zealots. But right now, with the final game on the line.
I mean, as much as we're kidding about the Cho'Gall here, if you have the Tychus already banned out, then of course Diablo becomes even more oppressive. And normally when we talk about Diablo, we talk a lot about the synergy with Medivh. But even without it, this is still one of the best maps, if not the best map for Diablo. And you just want to get rid of that right away.
I almost feel like Method might have banned the Diablo too fast in response to the Tychus ban though, because I would have really liked to see the Blaze ban. It takes out something that Zealots really lean on, and on top of that, they have the Stukov, and Medivh is already banned. If they had taken out the Blaze, that means that Zealots would have been stuck on a Stukov solo support with no other protection methods except the Tyrael, and Tyrael is not optimal when it comes to going against Sonya and Maiev. I almost would have rather liked to see them play into the Diablo, because Diablo without Medivh is very dealable with, you know?
No. Well, Meth's thinking about their damage here soon. They're going to need something. Right now, their shrine control is pretty stellar. Rhaegar, Maiev, and Sonya do pretty well. What kind of damage is stepping up? Typically, I would ask for that Hanzo or even that Phoenix to come in here, but both have been grabbed here by Zealots as they look to control the Assassin War.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about that a bit as well, what they could usually play here, especially with a setup all around Maiev. I mean, traditionally, one of the heroes that you would always fall back onto when you're talking about Infernal Shrines is something around the lines of Gul'dan.
Sure.
But they don't play a lot of Gul'dan, especially on this map. They only played it once. Junkrat fits the bill here. They are actually the ones picking the Tyrael now. They have Maiev already for the setup, and they have Sonya. So I feel from their perspective, it makes a bit more sense.
Tyrael is extremely strong when you have these mass melee compositions, because they tend to stack very hard, and every hero that stacks hard, you know, you get additional value out of the Tyrael level 1 shield. You're clumped all the time anyways, which means you're all going to get shielded every time he presses that button, and on top of that, the obvious synergy with the Sanctification.
So final pickup here for Zealots. What are we looking for?
Well, it's going to be the main tank.
Main tank. So you have Garrosh still available for yourself. You could play around the Johanna.
ETC is not bad either. The only Mosh interrupt here really is a Junkrat. Sonya will be in the thick of things.
Yeah.
So
What about Junkrat or Johanna?
Yeah, I mean,
also a safe choice. It's a lot of auto-attacking heroes. Maiev with the W tether. Sonya, even though she has her slam, her auto-attacks matter a lot. And Junkrat, same thing for him actually. Even though he has his Qs, a lot of the best Junkrat players will constantly weave in auto-attacks. So always a safe pick.
All right, so looking at the draft here for game number 5, Caldor.
I have no idea.
Yeah?
I honestly, at this point, have no clue who's going to win it. This is, for me, this comes really down to an execution level again.
Sure.
And we've seen from both really great setups. I think what we see from Method is fantastic for the shrine control around the sanctification that they have. And also with the way the clear alone from Junkrat, you can poke from the outside, you have displacement. But when I look over to what Zealots have, you have Blaze as a factor, you have Johanna, there's very little to put under pressure, and then a Phoenix and Hanzo set up in the back. I feel at this point it really comes down to execution.
Fan, what about you?
I'm leaning more towards the Zealots at this point. I think that the Method has drafted a very one-dimensional pick composition where their heroes are just all going to run at you and they're going to try and shoo you away from the shrine or kill you. But Zealots have so many ways to stop that. They have Bunker, Johanna gets in the way of all the melee heroes. Not to mention they have the Silence, which can completely destroy melee heroes. So leaning towards Zealots.
Let's go to game number 5 here and see who exactly will win that last slot for the MSB. Method, take it on Zealots.
The game is on, and it is the last one in this series. Method finds themselves on map number 5 here, Infernal Shrines, and to the left, we have them with Curson on Rhaegar, Ethereal on Maiev, Nick on Junkrat, Arcana on the front line on Tyrael, and Shrimpy for the second time now on Sonya.
On the right side in the red, Zealots. Zharmony playing Blaze, Mopsio and Johanna, ADRD on Hanzo, Chris on Phoenix, and Shad to play Stukov.
Admiral Gonzalez once again has to shine for the team here, and we couldn't ask for a better series. The match going to the 5th game, which is going to decide it all. Zealots fought their way back into this, and right now they are playing here on Infernal Shrines. The Zealots have played 9 times on Infernal Shrines, and they only won 3 of these games. On the other hand, Method, they have currently 5 wins and 6 losses. But at the end of the day, all these stats don't really matter. It's all about who gets the advantage, who's going to get the first kill, who's going to get those punishers, and who will come out victorious. One mistake, and you could not qualify for mid-season brawl.
Shrimpy wanting to brawl here, chasing Mopsio down. Mopsio trying to delay Shrimpy from rotating the top lane, but Method able to push through and soak the experience. Already the fire between our teams are really showing how much they want to earn this victory. Mopsio, though, getting tossed here to the bottom left corner, and Method comes in for an engage.
Yeah, Method is already going in here, but so far, Mopsio is still safe. Ethereal trying to chase him down a bit, but as the tether comes out, so do we see the Iron Skin holding him back for a long, long time. Heads up play by Mopsio here, playing as passive as he could. Tough as nails taken on level 1 for Sonya, going for the block variation. Seen a lot of war paint, but with all the auto attack that comes in on the side of the Zealots, the adjustment made by Shrimpy. And talking also about talent adjustments, we have currently Justice for All taken by Arcana. We've seen a few more aggressive talents taken around Salvation, but in this case, it's all about the shields. Having just the on-shrine sustain that you oftentimes need, even with Sonya and Rhaegar being in the mix, you want to make sure that you have that sustainable position during objectives.
Really trying to keep both Sonya and Maiev alive with those extra shields. Zarmi taking some Pyromania damage here on the top right corner. Pops his trait, is able to back up, but a good trait trade there for Method as they're hoping to make sure that's down when they head into the Shrine phase.
And Method is really trying to play aggressive here. The downside for them is that they are giving up a camp at the bot lane. Ethereal is trying to threaten that for a second, but he's of course fully aware that he cannot commit to it without any assistance. So immediately moving back, and Zealots with the pressure through the bot lane as level 4 talents are being picked up.
4 for each of them, and the aggression hasn't paid off yet for Method, but they keep trying here as they head to the bottom lane. But Zealots meet them with a total of 4 members. Hoping to clear out this wave, get a little bit of damage here on Method, but also to start winning this middle map part of the lane as they want to try and clear this out. Shrimpy already, though, in a position to start clearing up the damage, and we'll be able to back up.
Yeah, ADRD here firing away on his Hanzo, and of course, when we're talking about the damage output, Chris is another one that has to be cautious here. With Phoenix, we have the mobile offense taken as a level 1, pretty much the standard these days. That's what we're seeing most of the time. Emergency Protocol now coming in. Now, we talked a lot about the level 4 talent, and this is the other variation that we see, where once that the shield gets depleted, you gain a movement speed bonus so that you can move out and stay a bit more safe. And that especially applies to Chris. He's the assassin in Europe that plays by far the safest. He has less than 1 death per game, which is really remarkable. So he's usually going for the safer option, which oftentimes, in the long run, throughout the game, is still allowing him to put out the top damage.
That really feels like a must-have, too, when you're playing against a Sonya, with that spear coming online on level 7, her trying to chase you down. The extra movement speed will allow for you to try and escape, and also put some damage on her as she continues to chase you down. Now, 6.5 to 6.25 for our teams, fighting over the shrines, where Zealots find a lead here, 29-8.
Method gives it up. Method is absolutely willing to give it up here. They have Sonya at the top and they saw Maiev at the bot lane. So they were in a position where they simply said, yeah, we're going to get the experience on the lanes and we're willing to give the first one up. But Zealots haven't committed to it quite yet. There's 37. ADRD is poking from the outside. Mopsio is in trouble and call that a death. Down he goes. Now Zealots still have to confirm that Punisher. If they don't get it here, that would be a disaster for them, but
get it.
There it is. And now they're already defending up at the top lane. So a bit of a gamble on the side of Method, but so far still working out. Question just remains, how much can the Zealots get out of it? And the first thing they get out of it is a kill against Maiev.
Yeah, Ethereal getting a bit aggressive there, wanting to pull ADRD. ADRD does a really good job there of hugging the wall and allowing the tether to pop, which makes sure that he doesn't really move too far whenever you have a health bar in front of you. And they turn around and just kill him off instantly. A bit aggressive there from Ethereal. Seem to be a bit greedy, and Method will take the time, though, that they have been bought by Maiev to kill off this Immortal.
When we're talking about the first Punisher, one of the most important things is, of course, that you can still give it up if you find the experience on the off lanes. What most of the time happens when a team is signaling that by showing heroes on the outside lanes is that the opponent's team is immediately splitting away from the shrine themselves and trying to just simply counter-soul. That hasn't quite happened here to the same extent, but at the end of the day, both of them are on the same level. Shat now in trouble, and he goes down as Method aggressively starts to push in at that bot lane and confirms another kill, setting themselves slightly ahead again.
This is what Fan was talking about. You got to be careful against this composition here from Method, because they run at you and they find you, they will destroy you. They are Liam Neeson, man, taking people out whenever they get the chance. Method getting 2 kills already by running them over.
Really, you went with Liam Neeson for that?
Yeah, man, taking 4.
Couldn't come up with anything better?
That's pretty good, though.
I would have even gone for Jason Bourne of that, but okay. Swift Retribution on level 7 has now been claimed by Arcana, so it's all about that auto attack speed that we're having now. And both of the teams closing in on 10. I mean, this is a perfect setup for the 5th game. Very, very even up to this point. A slight advantage for Method through the second kill that they got, but we've been talking about how aggressive their setup is designed here. And what they're trying to do. The big question really is going to pop up once we have level 10 abilities, and we're going to find out who's going to claim the second the second Punisher.
Here's 10. Sanification, Wrath, Riptire, Warden's Cage, and Ancestor Healing coming online for Method. Definitely wanting to run down their targets. Junkrat poking from the side with a Riptire to follow up. Looking over to Zealots. Instantly picked. Planet Cracker.
Going for it once again. And of course, going to try and play heavily now around, especially the 13 talent for Stukov once it comes into play. Once you have that and you get a root and a lockdown, you follow it up with a Blessed Shield. There comes the Planet Cracker, and then you're in trouble. So Sanctification can, of course, always save one of the targets. But this is an interesting setup here for sure.
Method getting a little bit aggressive here in the middle.
This has got to be so tense. This is actually going to become crazy once that we have the next shrine being fought over. And Method, as you said, I mean, they're already pressuring heavily in the middle. And Nick in particular, with Junkrat, is just poking away.
Constantly working on that level 4 quest, only sitting at 31 stacks for the moment. Method will be gearing up to move to this top lane after they clear out this bottom lane, trying to make sure that they deal with the pressure that was coming in from Phoenix earlier, while the rest of Zealots have already grouped up as 4. Only Blaze by himself. There are Merc camps to grab for our teams. Not the biggest of deals for top left to top right with the Shrine being activated at the top, but always having additional pressure is a good move.
Yeah, Junkrat down at the bottom, Shrine activating in 20. This is going to be one of the important ones. Who's going to take the fight? Who's going to take that small advantage in that lead through the second Punisher? Camps are already taken on both sides. Sonya nearly completing the one to the left, and Zealots is capping their own. Both the teams at the exact same moment as Phoenix went back home, starts to move to the top lane, and Punisher number 2 is going to be in play soon.
Shrimpy starts moving in here with the help of Zarmany. They will try to control the point.
Zarmany already looking for movement. Sonya coming in as well, and of course here comes a big shot from Shad.
Big shove pushes them away, but Method's already back, grouping up. Shwimpy continuing to hold 7-7 in terms of control.
Adiardi with a poke, but here comes the displacement, and Johanna needs to be careful, popping the Iron Skin to move out here.
But look at Aethero, threatening constantly, wants to move in and get that tether there from IF.
Camp nearly down as Zarmany clears the waves, but Method is taking control of the Shrine.
25-10, Method has a large lead of their opponents. At any point they could snap.
Adiardi with shot after shot. Chris now moving into Zarmany, looking for the flank, and a second shove coming out of Shad.
But it's going to be on Nick. Nick is fine with that range. He can drop down the Riptire at any point, and Method is going to take over this Punisher.
Superior positioning from them here. And there was never really that big engagement that we were waiting for. Zealots couldn't find that opening, and now they have to deal with the Punisher.
The Punisher pushing in the top lane. Zealots start to play a little bit passively here. Blaze on the double soak. Fine with getting level 13.
Arcana already starting to move in here. The silence comes out as Shad is anchoring the play. Again with the shove attempt, as he was expecting someone to dive in, but they're just giving the fort up. They're moving away here. Blaze has taken the bot lane by now, and we also see Junkrat jumping around the middle and the bot lane to make sure that they're not missing out on lane soak.
Luckily there was an Arcane Punisher. Could have been worse there if Method actually wanted to fully commit with it. The 13 connects here, and they're constantly showing this idea of, okay, we will dive a target if you overstep. Zealots are getting terrified of this.
Method is going into the mid lane, and down here we have Johanna baiting the Punisher over, and actually still baiting it in as 3 towers are attacking it already. 13 talents now on both sides. Holy ground for Tyrael, by the way.
The Holy Ground, looking to cut people off on top of that Shrine, being able to section them off and then try to force a fight, allow Sonya to also get her area where she can get her brawl on, where Zealots don't try to separate from the area, giving her more whirlwind area. Method continuing to push out this bottom lane, and they've gotten to a point here with their heroics that they are feeling comfortable and confident. They are contesting every mercenary camp they can.
They're definitely in map, they're having the map control right now. They're using it extremely well here, and especially, of course, the zoning tools they have available around Junkrat now too. Blaze still not with his 13 taken, but outside of that, we're having also now Shad with his little power spike here when he can start people rooting them into the ground. Zarmany with a jet propulsion, not hitting anybody. Once again, ADRD just gearing up to get some damage out here, trying to go for the poke. But both of the teams are really hesitant to engage into these big fights. There's so much on the line here, you can't blame them.
Yeah, I mean, it's very versatile, or volatile, actually, for both of these teams. You look at Method, and if they get that signification off, get that engage that they want into the Warden's Cage, they can destroy any targets. But you look over to Zealots there, and Stukov is a major factor into multiple melees here. If he's able to land that root into a silence, especially on Tyrael, the power of Method falls dramatically.
Yeah, Mobsteel once again here, displaced. No Iron Skin for him. He knows that Maiev is always there, waiting for the tether, so he's playing it slow, playing it safe. Shat again with the heals, but up to the top lane, we're seeing that little fight between Zarmany and Shrimpy, and so far Zarmany's trying to push it out, but Shrimpy is always ready for more aggression here, as we have in the mid lane, Aethero looking for another tether with Maiev.
Here comes Sonya. She's flanking here from the top. Now, 16 isn't here for a Method, but if they find someone that oversteps, ADRD in particular, they'll go for it.
Once again, just poking away here. Maiev going in Arcana as well. Junkrat joining the fun in the middle as Mobsteel just moves out and gets the wave flare in.
Now, Method has an easy pull back and go to the top lane. Zarmany finally getting the handle on that wave, pushes it in. That'll be a nice chunk of experience, as well as the experience of the bottom lane. Method trying to get that 16.
Zarmany also with his 13 now, going for the suppressive fire at this point, so spell power reduction coming in for Blaze.
Trying to land that on Junkrat in particular. Maev also pretty good here, too. Trying to make sure that they don't get that additional damage in, and he should be able to line that up too. Ethereal comes in, puts a little bit of pressure here on the bottom lane, but remember that 16 still floating around for them. They're going to just buy some time here for Sony to work on that Merc camp at the top left.
Still shouldn't be a problem for Zealots though, because with that turret that they just took down, they have another quick leap in XP. So they are closing in on 16 as well. Of course, as we can see here, we're going to have Method aim that for a little bit earlier, but at the same time, Zealots is also going to get it just in time for the shrine itself. Their own camp confirmed. They still have Johanna in the middle, and as long as no one is being picked off now, they should be absolutely okay here. Nice combo here for Mopsio, using his quick shield glare here and the level 4 talent advantage, and then immediately going for Condemned to confirm the wave. And they are about to hit 16 as they are already moving into position, and there we have the extra talent, both of them again on nearly the same amount of experience.
Method does a really good job of prepping that top lane too. That Night Camp should win out on that trade. Now Method rotates down. Here's Schwimpy. Gonna have the displacement on Zarmany, gets on here in the top left corner. Johanna on the back left takes some damage pretty decently. She's gonna pop that Iron Skin and gets deleted. Here comes the silence into an arrow, but dodged by Ethereal.
Nicely done by Ethereal here, using his trade Vault of the Wardens to jump away from the arrow, and all of a sudden Method with the counter aggression trying to go in for the tether. Here comes the Sanctification. They're going in with a Riptire. Planet Cracker comes out, but Mopsio is still dead, and Chris can't get the counter kill. We have Method taking control of the shrine. Zealots are far ahead in the stacks though. Can they poke enough without it? They can't. ADRD goes down. That's the second kill confirmed by Method.
Method able to grab the kill, looking for a third here on Zarmany. Zarmany's able to jump propulsion out, and remember that top lane, the control was able to go over to Method as well, so they are going to be pushing into that keep in the top lane while simultaneously pushing on this bottom.
Zealots were so close to getting the Punisher. They went 35 already, and they were trying to somehow get the damage in with Hanzo, but immediate reaction by Method, jumping on top of him, taking ADRD down, and the second kill allows them to go back towards the shrine and now get the Punisher themselves. Nearly a level ahead. Method all of a sudden have taken a lead in the game and are trying to just exaggerate it even more, moving through the little wall down at the bottom of the map, waiting for the Punisher to go for the stun and see if they can maybe follow it up.
Punisher jumps in, jumps on Mopsio. Iron Skin will make sure that he's just fine, able to kite away. Zarmany gets jumped to the side. Zarmany takes a lot of damage here on this back line. He's able to jump down that bunker to stay alive. Sounds to come in afterwards to make sure that he's able to get out.
Mopsio already moving away. He's extremely low and needs to be careful. This is an arcane Punisher, and that of course hurts.
The Punisher!
And triple stun through the Punisher. Here comes Maev with a tether. Zarmany is on the run. Mopsio as well, but Blaze falls first. The tire destroyed, but Method wants to go for the core. They want to go to the mid-season brawl. They're putting everything on the line here.
The Punisher's getting pretty low here, and ADRD continues to poke. Mopsio baiting away the Punisher to the left side, but he gets picked off. All of Method is up and available. They continue to push towards the core. It's dropped down to 70%. They have to be careful though, because Chris is standing up and putting pressure on Nick.
And there's a kill against Zukov. All of a sudden, it's a 5 versus 2, and that's just not going to be enough. Here comes the Planet Cracker. That might give you a kill, but it's not going to win you the game. Down the core goes, and Method takes the game, takes the series, and qualifies for the mid-season brawl.
And just like that, Method able to grab a win over the Zealots. It was a tough battle though, a 3-2 victory. They'll be going to the mid-season brawl as our third slot here for HGC Europe. Method was able to deliver on this composition that we were a little bit worried for, but their aggression, working together as a unit and finding those kills was just enough.
Yeah, they actually played so well that game. I was afraid they would clump up for all of those AoE heroics on the other side, but they never once all clumped up. They played, even though they had 4 melee heroes, they were all spread out in a concave, only Sonya on the shrine, and you know, there were some great outplays that game, dodging the arrow, getting the turnaround. They showed up in the last game, and they got it.
Caldor, what a crazy storyline though for Method. Method going to the Western Clash, doing great. We were actually putting them as a favorite to make it to the finals, maybe even play pretty well, and they just completely fell flat. Came back from the Western Clash, had a couple of poor weeks, but they started to find their mojo here in the last couple of weeks and are able to get a big victory over Zealots.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I feel this is the chance for Method to redeem themselves on the offline stage, because they definitely had massive problems when it came to the Western Clash. And as you said, we expected them to be at least top 3 in the event, if not making to the grand final. They themselves announced it several times. So now they have an opportunity to show the world again that what happened at the Western Clash was a fluke.
Well, we actually have Schwimpy here to talk about their victory as they get a big win over Zealots. Schwimpy, welcome to the HGC, and it's good to see a smile on your face, buddy. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I love Sweden, so I'm excited. Very excited.
You have to travel a really far distance to play in this tournament. But again, congratulations to you and your team. You get a win over the Zealots. It was a hard victory. You guys went to the full mile, a 3-2. How are you feeling about that match, and how much does it mean to you to go back here to Sweden to play in the MSB?
We were pretty confident going into this because we had. I don't think Zealots can win from second pick. They don't get enough of their power picks, so like we felt pretty good, like just winning the first pick games as we did, and you know, going to MSB again, I couldn't be the only one that won last year that's not going, so have to go and collect this bad boy again, you know.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna send you over to Caldor.
First of all, congratulations. It was really a tough series. But I have one question in particular. We were talking a lot about maps, and you guys led Battlefield of Eternity through, which is by far the best maps of the Zealots. And we were like theorizing a bit why exactly is that. Did you guys just have the strategy prepared where you said, we feel so confident that once they pick the map, we take them down? Or was it just that you were afraid of a towers game and that's why you banned it out? What was the thought process behind that ban? Or behind not banning it?
We played a lot of BOE, like in practice games, because we prepared more for Liquid than for Zealots, but didn't turn out to be useful. But we really practiced a lot of BOE, and as I said, I don't think they win from second pick if we feel comfortable in the map. And I just feel way more comfortable on BOE than on towers. That's basically it.
Okay. Talking about the offline event, Western Clash didn't go too well for you guys. What's going to be the change to make sure that doesn't happen at mid-season brawl again?
So we had a lot of not internal issues, but we didn't really have fun together and we didn't enjoy ourselves very much before. But this last week we were actually laughing together and having fun, you know. And I feel way more confident in drafting shot calling now. So I think we will have a much better showing at MSB than at the Clash. Hopefully we won't lose to NA.
All right, looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fan, perfect opportunity for you to come in.
Hey, Shrimpy, what's up, man? NA here, you know, can't wait to play at the mid-season brawl. I just wanted to ask you, I mean, you tweeted at the start of this day, you know, when I was browsing through the Twitter, I saw you already posted, see you guys all at mid-season brawl. How long ago in advance did you know that you guys were just going to win this match?
I mean, if I didn't qualify, I live 1 hour away, so I had a backup plan.
Genius. That's actually genius. But, I mean, in regards to the series, it was a great series. I think Caldor and Trick asked most of the questions, you know. I don't know, man. Right now, I'm a little bit triggered by the NA versus EU thing right now. I'm just
fire back. You're on the European broadcast.
Tell me to take him down
here.
All right, I'm on the losing side of the battle so far right now. I can't go all out. You know?
Okay, wait a second. On the losing side of the battle, maybe in the big picture, that's still true. But
war.
keep in mind how Shrimpy's boys performed at the Western Clash, so you can still fire a few shots.
That's true. That's true. Shrimpy, man, don't show up like you did at Western Clash, because that was not pretty. That was not pretty. I still love you though, man.
Fan gonna bring the shots to the MSB. And speaking about the MSB, you have a month here to prepare for the matchups. Of course, that's gonna be happening in the next month or so. What are you gonna be doing? You guys gonna work together, keep an eye on Deckard? What is the plan of Schwimpy and the crew?
Vacation.
Vacation, okay. Gonna take a little bit of a break?
Yeah, a little bit at least. I mean, every team is probably taking kind of a break, so
I like that.
It wouldn't make sense to
At
practice
least a month.
versus no one.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Well,
everybody's taking a break right now. You look at Fnatic's tweets, and there's just like pictures of vacations everywhere. I'm really jealous.
I want to go on vacation. Maybe we'll have to do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go and let you get started on your vacation. Congratulations on your big victory. But before I let you go, of course, the floor is yours for shoutouts.
Shoutout Method. Mom, Dad. Fan. Yeah, that's it.
Easy. Schwimpy coming in here. Congratulations to him and the rest of Method as they get a 3-2 victory over the Zealots. What a weekend, man. Friday and Saturday, you know, I was expecting a little bit more matches, but still, good series overall.